Hello, you amazing human. If you are like most people that I speak with when it comes to starting a business, thinking about, should I pursue this? Quit my job? Is this viable? Can I go all in on this? Can I make a living on this? Then this is the video for you. And I'm about to break down for you a very simple process that you can walk yourself through to check if your business idea is a good idea. I'm going to give you the powerful 5 questions to ask to really assess if this is something worth pursuing. So let us dive in. One of the things that you want to ask yourself is, number one, that you are solving a problem. Like the problem that you're solving for someone is either something that you wish that you had, or it's something that you are hearing or noticing is missing for people. Maybe it exists, but not in the way that you can see could be done better, right? Like you're often not reinventing the wheel. In fact, you're often taking an idea, or you're seeing a gap, or you're seeing an opportunity in how something's already done, and you're solving it in a better way. You're creating an even better solution than currently exists in the market. And that doesn't mean that there's going to be zero competition, but it means that you're going to have a specific point of difference, a specific unique way that you solve that problem. So, for example, you might decide that you're going to open a bakery, or that you are going to become a life coach, not because there are no bakeries around or that there are no life coaches around, but you might notice that no life coach that you've looked for, or that you've worked with, or that friends have worked with, has actually been able to help people find their purpose in life. And you might realize that you're actually really good at helping people find their purpose. And so you create a service around helping someone solve that problem of not knowing what their purpose is. And with the bakery, maybe it is a gluten-free bakery, and you notice that there's other gluten-free bakeries, or there's other bakeries that do gluten-free, but no one does it in the same way that you would do it. Like the ingredients don't quite taste right, or the texture is a little funny, or no one's quite figured out how to make a really fluffy gluten-free cupcake, right? Like there's always going to be something that you're doing that is going to be a little different. The other aspect of that one, so there's 3 things that you'll know that it's a good business idea, right? One is you're solving a problem, or you're helping someone achieve a goal, right? Or a desired outcome, right? So think of the makeup industry, for example. A goal or desired outcome that people have is to feel more beautiful, right? Or to feel more confident, or to feel like their best self. And your service or your product will help someone become their best self, be their best self, achieve a goal, right? Like if it doesn't solve a problem and it doesn't help someone achieve a goal, it's probably not a great idea, right? You might think it's a really good idea, but if it doesn't do either of those things, it's going to be a hard time convincing someone. It's going to feel like you're having to convince them to pay you money for that thing, right? But I'm going to walk you through some questions to ask in a moment. Number 2, people are willing to pay for it, right? So just following on from what we're talking about, the goal that you're helping someone achieve, or the problem that you're helping them solve, has to be big enough for that person that they're willing to pay money for it, right? Simple as that. If it doesn't do that, it's probably not a good business idea. Number 3, you can market it well, or you have a clear way to sell it, right? I've had so many business ideas over the years, and I had one actually a couple of years ago, and I started I remember saving the Instagram handle for it. I remember looking for manufacturers and suppliers, and starting to, I came up with a logo, and then, not that you need a logo, but that was just my creative outlet, right? Thinking of the name, like coming up with this concept that was really cool, but I could kind of think of ways to market it, but I couldn't see how I was going to be able to execute on that marketing. Like it would have taken a big team, or a lot of capital up front, a lot of money up front, to be able to execute it in the way that I wanted. And I'm not going to share it because maybe someday I will. I will still do it, right? Um, but it was and it was a gift boxing idea, right? Actually, one of the businesses Dane and I started, gosh, 2019, was a gift box company. We got like spiritual gifts because I didn't drink and I wanted to give people gifts and I didn't want to get them a bottle of wine. And I was living in Bali at the time and I found it really hard to like buy presents and send them to like clients or friends. And so I was like, well, let's create like these spiritual gift boxes. And we ran ads and we made some sales on them, but it was just too hard to manage from Bali because we're on the ground in New Zealand. So we had someone doing it for us, but it just became too much. So we closed that down. So it was following on from that idea. It was like another version of that. Um, and I realized like the ideas, they were just too hard to execute the marketing ideas. So I didn't pursue it anymore because I knew that I would run into issues with that. So once you can confirm those three things, right, you're solving a problem or helping someone achieve a goal or a desired outcome. Number two, people are actually willing to pay for it. And number three, you can market it well or have a clear way to sell it, right? If you can figure, if it matches all those three, if it meets all those three criteria, then you know that you're onto something. Just touching on how to know if people are willing to pay for it, the simplest way is to ask them. Like, find some people that you think would be the ideal customer or the ideal client for it and literally just ask them, like share your idea with them and be like, hey, can I ask you a couple of questions, like, are you going through this, are you experiencing this? I'm thinking of creating this, would that be helpful for you? Would you be willing to pay for that? How much would you be willing to pay for that? Right, like it can be so simple. You'll figure out a way to do that, right? Maybe you have people in your networks that you already know. I was speaking with someone recently and we figured out that their best strategy was they didn't know anyone that it would be good for, this idea that they were working on. And so I just shared with them, like, why don't you just find people on LinkedIn, right, that fitted their industry. I'm not a fan of LinkedIn personally, but it's a great way to still connect with people. Why don't you just find people or email them or email the businesses that you're wanting to help and just ask them, like, offer something in exchange, offer something super valuable, offer to bring them a coffee, right? Like old school techniques still work. Like offer to bring someone a coffee, offer to do something for them, do something first, give value first, and then they're more likely to help you. And then when they sit down with you, if you bring them coffee, find a way to have access to them, find a way to build a relationship with them, then you can ask them those questions and figure out if it's a viable idea, right? So the questions that you want to ask to figure out if your idea is viable: number one, how big of a problem is this for someone? Right? Is it a big problem? Is it a small problem? Is it something that is all consuming? Is it something that they think about often? Is it something that like if you were to be able to solve it, it would be life changing for them, or it would enhance their life or their business or their relationship or their family or their health in a really big way? If so, tick. Number two, how willing are they to solve this problem? Again, coming back to the conversation around how willing are they to pay for it, how willing are they to solve this problem? If it's a small problem, right? Like we've all got stuff going on in our lives. If it's a small problem in someone's life, they're probably less willing to solve it than if it was a bigger problem, right? So we want to gauge how willing they are. Number three, how willing are they to pay for this and how frequently, right? Like, are they willing to pay for this in an ongoing way, or is this going to be something that they're only going to buy once? And they're probably not going to buy another one for like 10 years, right? Because if that's the case, I always think of like the furniture industry or like a bed. Like, how often do you buy a new bed? Probably not that often, like maybe every 10 years, maybe 5 years, like, I don't know. And so I'm like, okay, they're making their money based on like it's a higher ticket item and then volume, right? Now, whatever your product is, maybe it's something that someone would only really purchase once. And in that case, maybe it's still valuable for them, but you might be charging a higher price point, right? If it's a big problem and they're only going to buy it once, right? Like I think of my coaching business when that was the main business. A lot of my clients I would work with for 3 months at a time, but it would be in-depth, life-changing work, and it was a lot of money. Like people were paying 5 figures to change their life, but I knew that they would only ever buy that once. Like that's the investment, and rightfully so. That should be the only time that they buy it, but it's going to last them a lifetime. And then I've got other clients who aren't paying as much, but we're working together for years because the problem's always changing, and I'm working in a more intimate way with them on their businesses and on their mindset and on their relationships, and just to constantly elevate. And that's an ongoing process, right? So you want to think about the frequency of that. If you can answer that and they're willing to pay for it and they're willing to pay for it in an ongoing way, or yes, they're absolutely willing to pay for it, another tick. Number four, who is this for, right? Where I actually should have put that question like first or second, but who is this for? If you can go, this is for everyone, right? You're going to have a really hard time marketing it, because the problem that a 72-year-old male is experiencing, or where he's at in life, is at a very different stage, and so they're experiencing very different things and very different mindsets and very different things happening than a 20-year-old female, right? So if you say that your idea is for everyone, I want you to, maybe I'll do another one, like how to actually refine, another video on how to actually refine who your client is and who this problem is solving for. That was great at English. Got my words mixed up. Who is it for? Number 5, how much do they care about the problem? Right? They could be willing to pay for it. It could be a big problem, but you know what? Some people just don't care about solving that problem, right? Like if you, let's say your relationship is on the rocks and you are just such a career driven person, and you find a relationship therapist who is offering this incredible program to change your relationship, but deep down, you're in a season where you're focused on your career. And right now, you don't actually want to spend the time fixing things in your relationship. Like you're happy to put up with things being on the rocks. Don't ask me why, but that's just how you are, right? Like let's assume that. So if you think about an area of your life that you don't care about, right? Like I remember, for example, several years ago, seeing stuff about hormone health. And I'm like, I could not care less about that, right? Like I care about it in some way, but right now that's not a problem that I care about solving. Like I don't even know if I have this as a problem, but I'm absolutely not willing to invest in it. Now, after experiencing multiple miscarriages and realizing that I'm in a season of wanting to have a family and wanting to do everything that I possibly can to make that possible, I'm absolutely willing to solve that problem. So even if someone's not willing to solve that problem now, doesn't mean that they won't, but you want to make sure that you're aware of what someone cares about now, not what they might care about, not what they used to care about, what they care about now. So that all your marketing and all your messaging and all your sales and like everything that you're doing speaks to that person, because when they're ready in their cycle of life or in their cycle of business or whatever it is, like same with if it's you about the relationship, like there will come a time where you care about it. And so because the business has the correct and accurate and very specific description of what you're going through, you're reading their sales page or you're reading their marketing or you're reading their Instagram and you're like, tick, 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 that's me. Give me, give me your money. No, let me give you my money, right? When you've nailed that, that's when it's going to be very easy for you to make money in your business idea is absolutely viable. Okay. Hope this has been helpful. Let me know. Leave any questions in the comments. And if you have any more questions or you would love some follow-up episodes, you're welcome to send me a DM on Instagram at the Libby Robertson. And I will talk to you soon.